welcome to another episode of SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. Today we are doing another anime update, this time for the 11th of February 2025. This is the show where I talk about the anime coming out every week, and of course, we will be talking about a couple other highlights of what's releasing. Nothing major, but I feel like as I've said before, I feel like this is a good way to extend things just a little bit because it gets rather short otherwise. So let's start with Play It Again, Sam. Now, this was one of my father's favorite films, believe it or not. It is a Woody Allen film, so it comes with a little bit of controversy. Really, it depends on what side of things that you stand on with him. But I will say that this one is quite funny. It's one of his earlier adaptations. 1972, when he was doing a lot more comedy. This one is very related to Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca. If you're a fan of Casablanca and you like comedy, this one is quite fun. This is Kino has been trying to dive a little bit more into his catalog. I'd like to upgrade eventually most of his stuff to Blu-ray if I can. Difficult, but not impossible. So, Feel a Day is getting a 4K release. Now, Feel a Day is one of those in a list of films that are kind of animations that are not quite safe for children. We've got, Watership Down, we've got Plague Dogs, and then Feel a Day, which is cats, essentially. Francis the cat has moved into the neighborhood with his owner, only to be greeted by a series of baffling and gruesome murders. Shifting through the clues left by the murderer, the crazed Claudinus sect, and his own horrific nightmares, Francis must solve the puzzle behind the killer before it's too late. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I do want to get it, so it is on my list to get eventually. This one I just thought looked interesting because this is done in that old school style, which is Tamala 2010, A Punk Cat in Space. Some cat stuff going. A cerebral and existential story of Tamala, a kitten from the planet of cats who set out to solve a mystery of her birth. Now, I don't know anything about this. I'm not even sure what type of film this is. I know it's not anime, but it definitely has a style that comes into play with anime. This looks old, but I don't think it is old. So it's a 2002 film, but something about this just hits me, right? All right, now into the anime. So the next one is something that had me excited, and then I went, oh. And that is the Sailor Moon 3 film collection. Now, this is the old films, Sailor Moon R, Sailor Moon S, and Sailor Moon Super S. One of them actually could be considered a Christmas film for anime. It does take place on Christmas. It's kind of nice that we have a collection. I mean, they released a collection of the 3 films from Pioneer, did it? Back in the day, and I had that collection. I'm not getting it in a collection now because I've got all 3 on Blu-ray. I don't really need to repurchase. What I was hoping is that we would get the rest of Crystal, essentially, on physical finally. That it would finally get out of the streaming-only chokehold it's in presently. I mean, but no. I would like them to release those 2 films or miniseries, whichever way you look at it, into a collection like this, and then that way we can be done with it. It just irks me that that particular set is blocked by the fact that streamers don't want it released on physical. But these are good movies. If you don't have them and you like good classic anime, they're good, solid stories. They're not necessary. They're not a part of the canon. They're not needed. But if you like Sailor Moon, they're pretty fun runs. All right, Bubblegum Crisis, the perfect collection. Now this has, just basically is Bubblegum Crisis. I'm going to go over to the page. This is Anime. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to Crunchyroll to view this one. Not for every one of them, obviously, but I've kind of had my eye on it because I want to upgrade, but I've got a sparkly collection that I like. So it has, of course, the main runtime is 333 minutes, which tells you how long it is. It's just the 8 episodes. If this was a combo between the two Bubblegum Crisis series, I'd probably go for it more. But I like my little one with the prism box. I don't know why it just hits me like that, but it does. If you don't have this, or you have kind of a ratty version, I would definitely get it. I have been very much interested in getting the Bubblegum Crash. It's been on back order. I'm hoping that it'll keep on trucking, and I'll get it eventually. It's I think that those two are the original. Now there's another one that came out after that is considered a better series, but by a lot. But I do think that this one to me is my favorite of the two different series. When you combine this with Crash, I love the musical thing, and of course, Hurricane is a freaking rockin' song. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is about a bunch of girls who exist in this time where there's a kind of a cyberpunk situation, and there are these robots called boomers, these humanoid robots, but they are going berserk. Well, these girls who wear these hard suits, which is, you can see the one there, Pris, I believe, is a hard suit there. They go in and they basically save the day. It's a great series. It's a good classic series. If you don't have this, if you've never seen it, you really should. It is well worth having a collection. So One Piece continues with One Piece Collection 36. Episodes 167 to 191. Now, for those of you in the know, of course, we talked about the other. And I have a friend that really likes One Piece. And seeing how she's trying to finally get all of it on physical, I did not know that some of these sets are going out of print. I thought because they're published by Crunchyroll, they'd all still be in print. But apparently some of them are going out of print. And that's disturbing in a lot of ways for a series this long. But I have all of the sets. I've had this one ordered. I just order them as they come out. They're not super expensive. 35 is not bad for a 20-some episode series. And one day I'll watch it. I think when the series ends, I might go ahead and get back into it. All right. Last but not least, my teen romantic comedy Snafu is getting a 3-season collection. So all of it is together. And that's kind of nice. I like that Sentai does that. It's a good space reducer. It's a very cute romantic comedy. I can't really say much more about it. I think it's great, especially if you've waited that long. $76.99 isn't too bad when you're talking about 3 seasons worth of stuff. It's probably cheaper actually on Sentai, but otherwise, I think that's pretty good. So, I guess I will check to see if there's any comments, but otherwise, we'll wrap up. There is. Oh, hello, sir. Hello, John Knight. Like I said, I always like to try to get to the comments before I wrap up these short videos. I hope you all have enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and of course share, because sharing helps the channel. And I guess we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.